this is Claire Caldwell.
Claire, as
Claire is the very clever writer who we work with. We work together on this. This is our... Claire's my partner as well. Get in the light, Claire. Show yourself off. Let me show you off, yeah. Let me get past.
So Claire has co-authored this book, which is on sale tonight, that these guys are going to be signing. So I know that you've all got brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, cousins, mates.
Thanks for doing the hard sell.
They want a copy of this.
We'll sign it. Special price £20 for signed copies tonight.
And it is beautiful. Hang on a sec.
Hi everyone. Can I just say that it's I'm really pleased to be in Leeds tonight because I love Leeds. I live in Lancaster, and in Lancaster we have this mass exodus to Leeds. We call it Leedscaster because we love Leeds so much. So yeah, thanks for having us here.
Are you going to read a bit?
Yeah, so what I'd like to do is read a bit from the book. And what I'm going to read is Manny's first photo session, because we all know Manny, don't we? Yeah, what a great guy he is. I've never met him. I think but I obviously have a lot of respect for him. The Stone Roses were my favourite band when I was a mere lass, and here we go. So Manny's first photo session, which is this picture here. As you can see, hopefully it'll come up.
We should coordinate that really beautifully, and it comes up behind us, but I don't think it will. Got Bobby Gillespie instead.
So,
Manny's first photo session. March 29th, 1988, 6 months after Tilton's first studio session with the Roses, bass player Rob Hanson had been replaced by Gary Manfield, better known as Manny. Manny was a Perry Boy, a group of casual throwbacks from the original Scooter Boys. He was already a part of the Stone Roses story after a writer's gig at Clouds in Preston. Yeah, Preston! Which is where I'm from, so naturally I'm going to say that. Where he gate crashed backstage to inform the band of his irritation that the gig had been unceremoniously cancelled halfway through. So Ian recalls meeting Manny for the first time. Ian introduced me to Manny and said he was a mate who they'd known for years and was now their new bass player. He looked younger than Ian and John, about the same age as Rennie. In actual fact, he was the oldest in the band. I put that down to the fact that he was the only one without sideys, which made the others look older. We all remember sideys, don't we? So I started encouraging them and talking about what we were doing. I told them, I want something lively. You've got to bring this photo session to life. So immediately John yawns and Manny starts biting his lip, a sign that he may have been nervous and awkward. But then it was his first ever photo session. I tried to get them animated by saying, talk to me, directly into the lens, while I'm shooting. Rennie took the lead and yelled, yeah, so what am I supposed to say? Should I do a hand movement like this? Manny still didn't know what to do and pulled a weird face. They were all happy and started to look more comfortable. They were now having a laugh and trying to make the shot work. Ian began talking, John pretended to be asleep, Rennie was looking quizzical, and Manny still didn't know what the fuck to do, so he decided to fall asleep, and that's how the shoot was starting to pan out.
Oh, brilliant.
My instinct at this moment was to take the reins by directing and coordinating it more. Everyone was doing what I'd asked of them, and it was my main aim to get one definitive shot, which I didn't feel I'd done yet. And then the magic started happening. Ian pointed his finger at me, so I took the cue and said, speak to me directly through the lens, and he did. He spontaneously started bad-mouthing me, so I said, well, come on then, swear at me, say anything you want. He replied, you want me to swear? Well, fuck you. Then he started to act angry, which was brilliant, because he became the main focus of the picture and was really bringing the shoot to life. Manny cracked up laughing. because Ian was swearing at me and in his heavy Manc accent shouted something like, "Yeah, have it!" Then I caught a great series of shots as Ian looked directly at me and declared, "Fuck you and fuck your mother," whilst John pulled a slight face at Rennie. What a great moment. They all fell about laughing. I thought at this point I got the photos I wanted. Tilton changed his camera to one which contained colour slide film. I love that shot right at the end of the shoot of Rennie laughing his head off and John grinning at him, with Manny collapsing in a heap, whilst Ian's looking at me smiling. Everyone now looked like they belonged. Manny had arrived.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Sweet, brilliant, thank you.
And they are a really beautiful set of images. Right, look at these lads. Just 4 young lads, aren't they?
Yeah, really young, uncreased.
Yeah.
We've got some of those photos, I think, on this side of the wall as well.
That's right,
Claire's described in that one. But it's great because that's what you're looking for, a spontaneous moment. But sometimes you've got to kind of create it and make it look spontaneous. So it's some documentary photographers won't do that. It's an absolute no-no. They won't interact. But I always thought, well, you can set the wheels in motion and egg people on, and hope that something will happen. And sometimes it goes to a place where you don't kind of know, and you've got to be open to that. Something happening. It's good not to direct too much sometimes, to be open to how it's going to go, and it can go in a different branch, So don't kind of bring it back if it's going somewhere good. You've got to let the spontaneity happen.
I think without 2 albums, and maybe 3 albums if you consider all the remixes, and one DVD, one film about them, those photographs are the only proof that they were ever on Earth. Seriously, if you think about it, without those photographs, with the album, with the music, without those photographs and without that documentary, what is the proof that they were ever there? In 200 years' time.
There's now lots of video happens of lots of bands, but yeah, back then it was stills and not very many.
Roses,
yeah.
That is, you were lucky that you got 14 shoots with them, and that's the only evidence of how they progressed and how they diverged, how the people that left and joined, and the image, the clothing they wore, that everybody walked to the top of the pops and went, I want a pair of jeans like that, where do I get them? Do I have to go to Manchester? Can I buy them at Leeds Market, or do I have to go to Manchester? Do I have to go
Yeah, the fashion industry's got the photographers to thank, haven't they, for
Joe
putting that out.
Exactly.
Pictures of Nirvana as well, I was probably one of only 3 photographers to photograph them with the original lineup with Jason Everman in them and Chad Channing, Nowadays, they will have been filmed if it happened now.
People forget that, but
They think they're a 3-piece. They weren't. They were a 4-piece. Yeah.
I won't forget Bleach. Bleach were a great album. And Chad played on that.
Say again, my friend.
Chad he played on Bleach, so I wouldn't forget that. It doesn't disappear from that band. Nirvana were a great band from the start.
Yeah, they were. Bleach. I came in at. It came in the time of Bleach, and
That's what I'm saying. Bleach was a great album.
we're going to play a bit of Bleach tonight. I played Love Buzz earlier, and it's terrific. There's some really good songs on it. Probably about 5 really brilliant songs, and for a whole album to have 5 brilliant songs on it is quite amazing. It used to be just like 2.
You were just in the right place at the right time.
I was, but for all the bands that I've photographed, it's like for every 2 that make it, there's like 100 that don't. Me and Claire, we're really interested in music, and we go out and we look for new bands that we really like, and we've found Chinwag, and we've found quite a few bands over the past 2 years, and most of them have split up, and that's the sad state of music. Now, what we're finding is there are lots of bands with real talent, but because there are no deals with record companies, they get so far, and then they get so frustrated they can't buy new instruments, and then their wives and girlfriends go, look, you've given it 4 years, it's not happening, it's not going to happen. You need to go back to work in the Co-op bank.
Oh, does he say this a lot?
So the pressure's on, isn't it? And I think what we have, I think where it's at now is we have to accept there's fuck all money in this. If you can do the circuit and you can put a bit of money in your pocket and be happy with that and don't have expectations, just don't have any bloody expectations and you'll be happy. I don't believe bands should give shit away, but if a band plays, they should get their expenses paid. So if you can pay them 80 quid to get there, then really that's as much as they can expect. But a lot of venues are just going, you've got to pay to play.
Correct.
That is criminal.
You were playing some records earlier on, and you played two things that I've never heard anybody else DJ. How important is music to you?
It's important that that I connect with stuff that I really love. And also bands that have a really good attitude. Connection's massively important, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But music is so important because it's really healing. It's important for loads of reasons, isn't it? And I'm talking about this from kind of like a counselling point of view, because counselling is about healing, basically. It's about helping people to move on. It's about empowerment. Anything that's creative is healing, because what it means is that you're absorbed in making something. And when you're absorbed in something, you're in the moment, you're in touch with spirit or God or whatever you care to call it. You're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're just absorbed. And that does something for us as human beings. So we have to do that. Each one of us has to find whatever it might be. It might be painting, it might be photography, it might be poetry, spoken word, it might be music, it might be writing. And isn't it a wonderful feeling when you're so absorbed in something and you go, oh my God, is that the time? 3 hours went really fast. That's what healing is partly about.
If there's one image, not necessarily in this room, but if there's one image which defines what you do, which image is that?
I don't think there is really, because like I said, you said what do you look for in a photograph, and I said it's atmosphere, it's about the moment. I suppose the most unusual shot is the Kurt one, because you can go a whole lifetime and never get a shot like that, because it's somebody showing genuine vulnerability, and it's like, wow, when will that ever happen, without somebody putting their hand up and going, go and take that, or please don't use that picture. It's so rare it happens, because usually you're out of that. You're not in the geographical area. They won't let you in. So that's a pretty special one. But maybe that's as good an answer as I can give to that question.
I love that image. What I try and do here, and what the guys at Outlaws, Craig and Joe and Jonathan try and do, is we try and do something which is about what you've talked about, which is about connection, about making connections. It has been lovely to connect with you and to meet you.
Oh,
because we've got, tonight I didn't realise, we've got a lot of mutual friends. And up until a few months ago, I knew your images, but I didn't know that. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Bless you. I'd like to say hello to Graham and Martin out there, my new buddies. Thanks for making this happen tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Martin Lambert, for introducing Ian Tilton.